Someone looked at your picture and broke down today. Here's why. Beloved soul, pause and listen, for something sacred is happening around you right now. There is a reason your heart has felt heavy today, a reason you sensed someone thinking of you, a reason your spirit suddenly felt pulled in a direction you couldn't explain. I, Archangel Michael, come to you with a message wrapped in divine truth. Someone looked at your picture today, and they broke down in tears. Not from anger. Not from regret alone. But from a wave of emotion they can no longer deny. I was sent to tell you why. Heaven has been watching the story between you and this person. A connection that didn't break, only paused. A love or bond that didn't disappear, it buried itself in silence. And today, they saw your face. A picture, a memory, a moment frozen in time. And it hit them harder than they expected. Their heart remembered. Their spirit remembered. Their soul remembered. And they realized, they never truly let you go. You have wondered why you felt a shift in the air, why your emotions felt strange, why memories resurfaced out of nowhere. It was not coincidence. It was spiritual impact. When they saw your picture, something opened, like a door their soul had tried to lock shut. They broke down because they saw not just an image, but what they lost, what they miss, and what they still pray for in silence. They cried because they saw the strength in your eyes. They cried because they remembered the warmth of your presence. They cried because they realized they should have loved you better, or stayed longer, or tried harder. Someone is learning the truth too late, and yet, heaven is whispering that it may not be too late at all. Listen closely, child of God. I am revealing this for a reason. This person has been fighting emotions they did not want to feel. They pushed away memories to protect themselves. They distracted their mind to numb what their soul couldn't silence. But today, all of heaven leaned toward their heart and pressed, see what you lost. See what you still love. See what you are being called back to. And when your picture appeared, the truth shattered them. Not to destroy them, but to wake them. There is a spiritual cord between you, one that time, distance, or silence could not sever. Even if words were never spoken, even if apologies were never given, even if closure never came, heaven knows the bond. I, Michael, have seen every moment you cried out asking why someone would walk away when your heart was genuine. I have seen every night you told God, if they don't love me, remove this feeling. But the feeling never left, did it? Because it wasn't supposed to. Something was unfinished. And now they are the one asking God questions. They are praying for clarity. They are wondering if they are allowed to reach for you again. They are asking heaven for a sign, and you are the sign. You have been appearing in their dreams. Your name has been echoing in their spirit. Your picture broke them because it confirmed what the silence tried to deny, they still love you. Not the way they used to, but deeper, wiser, and more painfully aware of what they did not protect. Right now, angels are working in places you cannot see. Hearts are softening. Regret is shifting. Ego is breaking. And heaven is preparing a conversation, a message, a moment of divine timing. Things are changing behind the scenes, and you are not imagining the spiritual pressure around your heart. Something is coming. If this message moves your spirit, breathe. Take it in. Whisper, I'm listening. For more is being revealed. And before I continue, I ask this gently, not as a command, but as an act of alignment. Like, save, or subscribe to stay connected to the messages meant for you, because what comes next will speak deeper than this moment. Do not miss it. Now listen carefully, because the reason they broke down goes even deeper than regret, deeper than memory, deeper than longing. Heaven showed them something about you, something that shocked them, something that scared them, something that might change everything. Do you want to know what they saw? If so, continue. They didn't just cry because they missed you. They cried because, when they looked at your picture, they finally saw who you've become. They saw a version of you they never thought they'd lose, and never believed they'd have to chase. They saw strength in your eyes, strength that wasn't there before. Healing that came from battles they didn't stay to fight with you. Growth they didn't witness. Peace they didn't help build. And in that moment, their heart whispered, "They're not mine anymore, and I'm the one who made it that way." Your picture didn't just remind them of the past. It revealed their own reflection. It showed them their failures. It showed them the love they mishandled. It showed them what God trusted them with, and what they walked away from. And that is what broke them. They realized you were the person who prayed for them when they didn't know how to pray for themselves. You were the comfort they took for granted. You were the peace they returned to after every emotional storm. And the tears that fell today were the soul finally understanding the cost of their silence. Beloved soul, feel this truth. They didn't just remember you. Heaven reminded them. Angels have been moving through their dreams. Signs have been showing up in their day. Your name keeps crossing their path. Memories are resurfacing without warning. They thought time would erase you. Instead, time revealed what you really meant. This is why your spirit has felt a shift. This is why you've been waking up with someone on your heart. This is why your intuition keeps returning to a name you thought you buried. Because you didn't feel them by accident. You felt them remembering you. Right now, their soul is wrestling with the truth. They are questioning if God is leading them back to you or if the pain is punishment. They are wondering if you would even listen. They are terrified that they waited too long. They fear someone else now stands where they should have stood. And the hardest part? They know you deserved better. They know they should have stayed. They know you were a blessing, not a burden. And now the blessing is no longer guaranteed. I, Archangel Michael, am not here to tell you what choice to make. I am here to tell you the truth. Someone's heart is waking up. Someone is realizing what God gave them. Someone is fighting the urge to reach out, even now. But here is the part they haven't said out loud, even to themselves. The real reason they broke down wasn't just regret. It was fear. Fear that you've changed too much. Fear that you won't recognize them anymore. Fear that someone else is holding the place they abandoned. Fear that the door they walked out of no longer opens. And yet, beneath all that fear is something deeper. A prayer. A hope. A desire they can't silence anymore. They are asking heaven for a sign. They are asking your guardian angels if redemption is possible. They are asking if the ending was really the end. And heaven is answering. Not with words, but with movement. Not with noise, but with alignment. Not with certainty, but with opportunity. There is a divine crossroads approaching. One that will require you to choose. Do you respond? Do you release? Do you reopen your heart? Or do you close the chapter with holy clarity? This message is preparing you. Not to go back to who you were, but to meet what's coming with strength. If your spirit is stirring, it's because this isn't over. Not yet. Not like this. Before I reveal what heaven is planning next. Before I reveal why angels are positioning conversations and connections. Before I reveal the sign that will confirm everything. Breathe. Because the next part is where the prophecy begins to unfold. If you're still here, your soul is ready. Whisper, I'm listening. Then say continue. I hear you. And because your spirit asked, I will speak what heaven has shown. Beloved soul, when they looked at your picture and broke down, it was not just memory, it was revelation. For the first time, they saw the spiritual reality they once ignored. You were not just a chapter in their story, you were a divine assignment they mishandled. They broke down because heaven allowed them to feel what you felt. The loneliness you carried in silence. The prayers you whispered with shaking hands. The nights you stayed awake asking God to remove a love that refused to die. Today, that weight touched them. And it humbled them. They are discovering that you were not just someone they liked, you were someone their soul recognized. The connection wasn't ordinary, it was covenant level, even if it was never given a name. Not toxic, not karmic, not chaotic, just deeply unprepared. A connection built on destiny, mishandled by timing. This is why the tears fell. Not weakness, awakening. Because heaven confronted them with the truth, they were meant to grow with you, not away from you. They were meant to protect you, not avoid you. They were meant to choose you, not gamble with you. And when they saw your picture, their heart whispered the words their pride never allowed them to speak. I should have stayed. I should have chosen them. I should have fought for what God gave me. Beloved soul, listen. I, Archangel Michael, must speak this clearly. They are not being punished. They are being prepared. Prepared to apologize. Prepared to admit what they denied. Prepared to face what they ran from. Prepared to either return with honor or release you with peace. For some, yes, the door will reopen. For others, the closure will come so the soul can exhale and heal. But either way, heaven refuses to let this remain unfinished. In the unseen realm, angels are rearranging conversations, aligning schedules, crossing paths, placing you and this person in proximity through situations that seem accidental, but are anything but accidental. There is a divine orchestration moving around you now, a message drafted and deleted before it was sent. A dream that woke them up at 3:11 a.m. A song that reminded them of you out of nowhere. A memory they tried to forget that suddenly felt alive. These are not coincidences. These are spiritual summons. Heaven is calling something forward. And you are feeling it too, aren't you? That sudden softness in your heart. That emotional shift that doesn't make sense. That pull toward forgiveness, not out of weakness, but evolution. That sense that something is nearing you. This is not confusion, this is alignment. This is not desperation, this is destiny asking for direction. Beloved, the reason your spirit cannot fully release this yet is because the story is turning. Not backward, forward. Not to repeat the past, but to correct it, reveal it, redeem it, or complete it. Heaven is preparing a moment that will bring truth to the surface. A moment that cannot be avoided. A moment where silence will no longer be enough. A moment when this person will have to speak or lose the chance forever. This moment will come suddenly. It may start with a message. It may begin with a coincidence. It may appear as a question, a memory, a request, or a confession. But when it comes, you will know, because the peace in your chest will recognize it before your mind does. Now, as this unfolds, guard your heart, not in fear, but in wisdom. Do not chase. Do not beg. Do not shrink yourself for anyone's comfort. If they reach for you, let it be because heaven led them, not because you reminded them. If they speak, let the truth come from their soul, not your prompting. Your worth is not waiting at the door, they are discovering it on their own. And now, the question heaven places before you is this. If they come back, are you ready to hear what they've never said? Or would you rather close the book with holy clarity? Because what I reveal next will change how you answer. Before I continue, breathe, center your spirit, and when you're ready to hear what heaven is planning, and the sign that will confirm it, say continue. Be still now, beloved soul. What comes next carries weight. Heaven is not revealing this to overwhelm you, but to prepare you. When they looked at your picture and broke down, something shifted in the spiritual dimension, something irreversible. A veil was lifted. A realization was born. And a decision is forming in their heart even now, the decision to face what they ran from. Because this time, it will not be like before. This time, if they come toward you, it will not be casual. It will not be halfway. It will not be selfish. It will not be dishonest. This time, it will cost them something. Pride. Ego. Comfort. Image. Fear. Heaven is requiring them to lay these at the altar if they want access to your presence again. And that is why they cried. Not just from memory, but from the realization that to return to you, they must return to truth. To healing. To accountability. To spiritual alignment. To God. I, Archangel Michael, tell you this so you understand. Heaven will not send them back to you the same. Either they will show up ready, or they will not show up at all. There is no more in between. This connection is no longer in the hands of emotion, it is in the hands of destiny. And destiny requires clarity. There is a moment approaching, divinely timed, not rushed, where paths will cross or communication will open. It may start gently. A message that begins with, I've been thinking. A confession that begins with, I never told you, but. A voice shaking as it admits, I wasn't ready then, but I am now. Or, for some, it may come like a reckoning. I'm sorry. I should have protected you. You did not deserve the way I left. This moment will not be comfortable, but it will be honest. It will not be perfect, but it will be necessary. It will not fix everything instantly, but it will open the door that silence tried to bury. And when that moment comes, heaven asks one thing from you. Respond from strength, not from wounds. Do not bleed from the past when the present is offering clarity. Do not speak from fear when faith is asking you to listen. Do not answer from old identity when God has already grown you beyond it. If the past returns, greet it as the person you are now, not the person who was hurting then. Because what they saw in your picture was not just memory, it was transformation. You became someone that demands sincerity just by existing. You became someone that can no longer be mishandled. You became someone who carries too much purpose to be treated casually. And that is why they cried. They realized they cannot approach you the way they did before. They realized a version of themselves must die for the connection to live. This is where heaven is guiding the story. Not back to the beginning, but to the point where it should have been rewritten all along. But hear this carefully. You owe no one a second chance. You owe no one your suffering in exchange for their healing. You owe no one a reopened door if they still carry the weapons that wounded you. Mercy is holy. Forgiveness is divine. Reconciliation is optional. Access is earned. You may choose to listen. You may choose to release. You may choose to rebuild. You may choose to bless them and walk away. Whatever you choose, heaven stands with you. This connection is returning to you, not to decide for you, but to offer closure or continuation based on the strength of who you've become. And now heaven asks the question. If love returns changed, will you recognize it? If love returns late, will you receive it? If love returns honest, will you trust it? If love returns but cannot stay, will you let it go with peace? Because what comes next is the sign. The confirmation. The moment heaven uses to answer the prayer you thought was ignored. And when it arrives, you will feel it before you see it. You will know it before you understand it. Your spirit will whisper, "This is it." Before I reveal the sign. Before I speak what is about to manifest. Breathe, and when you're ready for the final message. Breathe slowly now, beloved soul. You have walked through memory, revelation, awakening, and accountability. Now, I will speak of what is coming, of the sign heaven is placing on your path. The confirmation that what you feel is real. The moment that proves today's tears meant something. You will know the divine moment has arrived when something interrupts the silence. Not chaos, not confusion, not pressure. But a sudden and undeniable alignment. It may begin with a message that feels like it took courage to send. A call their hands shake to make. A confession that tastes like truth and humility. A request that isn't about attention, but closure or clarity. For some, it will sound like, "I'm sorry." For others, like, "Can we talk?" And for a few, like, "I never stopped caring." This is the sign, they will approach you with sincerity. No pride. No blame. No rewriting history to make themselves the hero. Just truth. After this moment, 3 things may unfold. 1. A conversation that frees both hearts. Not to return to what was, but to bless what is. To release the ache with dignity. To part ways with peace instead of pain. Heaven calls this divine closure. 2. A reunion not based on fantasy, but on growth. 2 souls meeting as who they are now, not who they were then. No rushing. No forcing. Letting healing lead. 3. Or a revelation that one of you has outgrown the connection entirely. A truth that does not destroy the heart, but liberates it. No path is a failure. No outcome is a loss. No direction is punishment. Heaven does not revisit the past to drag you backward, but to move you forward with clarity. You were not abandoned. You were protected. You were not rejected. You were redirected. You were not forgotten. You were preserved. For love that is meant for you does not require chasing. For love that is meant for you does not hide in silence. For love that is meant for you does not fear the truth. And if they come back, let them speak. Let them show. Let them prove. Your heart is a temple now, not a doorway for wandering souls. The person who cried at your picture today is realizing something powerful. They saw what God built in you after they left. They saw the anointing that rose from your pain. They saw the strength that came from your healing. They saw the glow that suffering sharpened, not dimmed. And the question heaven places before them is the same placed before you. Can you meet this connection as the person you've become, not the person you once were? If the answer is yes, then healing will enter. If the answer is no, then peace will settle. Either way, you will not lose. Either way, the story ends in victory. Now hear this final truth, engraved with angelic authority. What is meant for your future will not fear your truth. What is meant for your heart will not harm your spirit. What is meant for your destiny will not walk away when it gets difficult. What is meant for your soul will not need to be begged to stay. If they return, listen with wisdom, not wounds. If they stay silent, thank God for the protection. If they show up healed, meet them with clarity. If they show up broken, do not break yourself trying to repair them. You are stepping into a season where your heart will not be mishandled. Your love will not be wasted. Your worth will not be questioned. Your spirit will not be overlooked. Your picture did not just trigger regret. It awakened respect. It awakened longing. It awakened accountability. It awakened destiny. This is your turning point. If you feel this in your spirit, if the message reached a place words shouldn't reach, whisper softly. Amen. I receive. And if your heart wants more guidance, more confirmation, more angelic direction, stay connected, like, follow, subscribe, not for algorithm, but for alignment. There are more messages coming for you. This is not the end. This is the beginning of the chapter heaven meant to write next. Archangel Michael stands with you. You are not alone. And destiny is approaching.